Salvete! Hello, welcome. Stephen here from the UK, and this is a new channel, Love Latin. And today we're going to get straight into business with Latin nouns. What is a noun? What's the definition of a noun? Well, generally we tend to say a person, a place, or a thing. A noun is a naming word. Person, place, or thing. Could be concrete, something you can see or touch, a book, human, house, bottle. Could be abstract, love, patience, friendship, but they're all nouns. Now, in Latin, there are a few things we need to consider. Like English, a noun can be singular or plural, girl, girls, man, men. All Latin nouns have what we call grammatical gender. That means a noun must be either masculine, feminine, or neuter. Masculine, feminine, or neuter. It only has one. If it's a person, that's quite obvious. Man is masculine, woman, feminine. But if it's anything else, table, house, door, it could be either. There's no real kind of logic behind it in terms of meaning, masculine or feminine, for instance. You just have to learn them as you come across them. Often the shape of the word, the ending of the word, will make it clear. And we'll learn a little bit about that today. So, number, gender, masculine, feminine, neuter. Now, the other really important thing about Latin nouns is they have what's called grammatical case. If you have some Russian or Polish, some German, and there are other languages that have case, then this will be familiar to you, at least partially. Otherwise, it's new. Don't worry about it. We'll take it step by step. We're just going to introduce it today. In Latin, there are 6 cases. We have nominative, vocative, accusative, genitive, dative, and ablative. And this is something that we'll come back to again and again. So we're not learning all the cases today, but I'm just putting it out there that they exist. What's the purpose of these cases with these funny names? Nominative, accusative. Sounds complicated, right? Well, it's not really that complicated. The idea is the case system pinpoints the precise function that a word has in a sentence. The boy is walking. He's doing the action. I see the boy. I'm doing the seeing. He's my object. The house of the boy belongs to him. I give the present to the boy. We go with the boy. Now in English, other than the plural, the boy doesn't change. There's no ending. Well, in Latin, each time it does, in the 6 different cases. So they really pinpoint exactly what's going on, what's the function of the word. This becomes very important. There is no the or a in Latin. So, boy, the boy, a boy, you just say boy. Okay. There's no the or a. The sentences are often quite long, and the word order is much more flexible. And so it's not so much the order in which the words appear in the sentence, but the endings. And for each case, the noun has a different ending. It changes a little bit in the way it looks and the way it sounds. And we have to learn these. So we're just going to focus on a couple of them today. Nominative, the first one. I like to think of this as the normal case. It's the starting point. If you look up a word in a dictionary, it will always be, in the Latin, it will give you in the nominative case. The basic case. If something just is, the girl. The girl is clever. The girl is here. Well, it's just she, isn't it? The girl. Whenever you have the verb to be, is, am, are, that's always nominative. The person is just being. There's no one or anything else doing the action. It's just nominative, basic. I am a teacher. Nominative. He is a doctor. Nominative. the nice doctor, the young doctor, the old doctor, the doctor is working. That's just a subject of the sentence. The person doing or in charge of the verb, the action or being. Remember, a verb can also mean being, to be, to become, to appear. That's the subject of the sentence. Nominative. Vocative. This comes from vox, vox or vox, which is my voice. I use my voice to call somebody. Vocare, vocare. So if you call somebody, friend, father, girl, boy, come here. When you directly address somebody, sometimes the ending's a little bit different, and that's called the vocative case. It's not something that we're going to make a big fuss about. It's not something that we need to worry about because it's not that common. Sometimes if you're reading dialogue, the first word in the sentence, when somebody directly calls the other person, that will go into the vocative case. Sometimes it changes its ending, sometimes it doesn't. So we're not going to fuss about that one. The one we really need to pay attention to is the next one, accusative. I wrote it here for you. Accusative. So if nominative, normal, is the subject, the person or thing being or doing the action, accusative is the direct object. So sometimes there's just one person or thing, subject. The boy is working. The clever boy, the tall boy, the short boy. The boy is tired. Sometimes another person or thing comes into the equation. I help the boy. I understand the boy. I see the boy. That boy. A boy. I see the boy. I call the boy. I praise the boy. You see what I mean? So in this circumstance, the boy is not doing the action. You could say he's receiving it or suffering the action. It's being done to him. If you picture a seesaw, on one side you've got the subject doing the action, the middle's the verb. On the other side of the verb is the person receiving the action. That's what we call direct object. And in Latin, it's accusative case. What's it mean? It just means that word changes its ending a little bit. Okay? That's it. So that's your accusative. The black pen, nominative. Subject. The pen is new. The pen is black. I hold the pen. I, subject, hold verb, the pen. Accusative, it's my object. I see the pen. The teacher has a pen. Who's doing the having? Who has? I have. The teacher, subject. The pen is being had or held. Accusative. I think you get the point. So genitive, dative and ablative, we'll talk about them again, guys. We don't need to go into that right now, the precise meanings. But it is important for us to learn the endings. So for the sake of completion, it's worth doing this from day one. Even though we don't know the nitty-gritty about these other cases, we will do in the fullness of time. So today's nouns are from what we call the first declension. First group. Declension, declining, that's just the way the word changes its ending. And our special word for today, I've chosen it pretty randomly from the first declension nouns. All of them end in a. All first declension nouns end in a. And our noun of today is puella. It means girl. Puella. A girl, the girl. Remember, there's no a or the, or just girl. Puella. That's nominative. So that's what you find in the dictionary. If I call the girl directly, girl, excuse me, come here. That's vocative. As it happens, the ending's the same, so no worries, right? Puella. But this next one, accusative direct object, I see the girl, I know the girl, I help the girl, it becomes puellam. And this is the thing, a to am, that I really want you to take from this video, if nothing else. Genitive and dative, I, puellai, puellai. Ablative case, long a. That's what that little line is. Just means it's long. Puella. Ah. So let's do it together. Say this out loud with me. Puella, puella, puellam. Accusative. Puellai, puellai, puella. Puella, puella, puellam. Puellai, puellai, puella. I hope you're doing this with me. Come on, nice and loud. Puella, puella, puellam. Puellai, puellai, puella. Puella, puella, puellam. puelai, puelai, puela. This is to be repeated, repeated. Write it down. Keep doing it till you know it in your sleep. Because when you know it, you won't forget it. The great news is you can take any first declension noun ending in a, and it will follow this pattern. So if you know one, like puela, you know them all. Great stuff. Generally speaking, these first declension a nouns are feminine, as girl obviously is. Occasionally you get a masculine one if it's very obviously talking about a male person, and we'll give one example of that shortly. So if it's talking about someone who's male, then it is masculine in that case. But the endings are still the same. It doesn't change the endings, whether it's feminine or masculine. It's just that most of them are feminine. Okay? So we get the English word villa, a large house, a villa, from the Latin word, pronounced W, villa. Well, it ends in A, it's first declension, feminine. Okay? One more time. Puela, puela, puelam, puelai, puelai, puela. Good stuff. Right. Let's have a look at a few other nouns that work in exactly the same way. On the other whiteboard, we've got mensa. Mensa is a table. Philia. Notice a long I. Little line over the top of it. Philia. Daughter. Aquila. The symbol of the Roman legionary forces. When they went to war, they always carried the aquila with them. Stella, a star, stella, and agricola, agricola, a bit like agriculture. That's a farmer. That would be the masculine one, because in the Roman context, the farmer would have been the man, the male, the father or the son. So that would be masculine. But as I said, the endings are the same. Let's just then take one of these words and then apply the endings. So how would we do mensa through all the different cases? Mensa, mensa, mensam, accusative. Mensai, mensai, mensa. Mensa, mensa, mensam. Mensai, mensai, mensa. So those are all the cases for singular. There is a plural set, but we'll do them in another video, just a little at a time. All right? Let's do star through all the cases. Stella, stella, stellam, accusative. I see the star. I love the star. Stellai, stellai, stella. Stella, stella, stellam. Stellai, stellai, stella. Let's do farmer. Agricola, agricola, agricolam. Agricolai, agricolai, agricola. Beautiful. Wonderful. So once you know it, you know it. It's worth practicing and practicing. And my advice would be don't go on to the next video until you've got this off to a T. You've really got it down and you know it inside out. That's the point when you move on. And so you each stage, master it, confidence. Then we go on to the next stage and we build, and we build. Okay? Really worth learning, because it will save you trouble later on having to keep looking in the back of grammar books. Oh, what's the dative? What's the genitive? Because there are more and more things to be learned. So, let's just have a practice at choosing the correct nominative or accusative form for some of these words on here. So I'll give you a short sentence. We don't know the verbs yet, so just forget about those. We'll just do it in English. But I want you to think about whether the word would be nominative or accusative. And if it's accusative, you need to change the a to the am for any of these words. First one. The farmer is sleeping. The farmer is sleeping. What's it going to be? Who's sleeping? The farmer, the subject. There's no one else there. So it's subject, nominative case, agricola. Agricola. I call the farmer. I call the farmer. Who's calling? I'm calling. Subject. The farmer's being called. Direct object. Therefore, agricolam. agricolam. And the interesting thing about Latin is it will be perfectly correct to put that agricolam as the first word in the sentence, which we don't really do in English. It would be confusing to do that. But because the endings give you the meaning and not the order of the words, that's quite normal. And so this is why this lesson is very important. Agricolam, he's not doing the action. Okay? Let me just do that. Right, what about the next one? The eagle flies. The eagle flies or is flying through the sky at night. The eagle is flying. Nominative, accusative, what's it going to be? What's it going to look like? Well, there's no one else flying. The eagle's doing the action. It's in charge of the verb. Subject, Aquila. Aquila. The mother praises the daughter. The mother praises the daughter. So the daughter, how's that word going to look? Just that word. The mother praises the daughter. Well, she's the object, isn't she? She's not doing the praising, she's receiving it. Accusative, filiam. Filiam. Very good. We'll do two more. I buy a new table. I buy a new table. Give me the word table in its correct form. I buy a new table. Is it doing the action? No. Can't be nominative. So we go down to accusative. Mensam. Mensam. Wherever that word features in the sentence, if you can imagine all the words I've just said, doesn't matter, because it's clear that it's the object from the ending. Mensam. Last one. I know the farmer. I know the farmer. What's that going to be? It's accusative, okay? Because I know the farmer, I'm doing the action, he's the object, therefore it's agricolam. One last time to run through the endings, and I think we'll leave it there because we're almost at 20 minutes. Puella, puella, puellam, accusative. Puellai, puellai, puella. Puella, puella, puellam. Puellai, puellai, puellar. That's your first declension. A nouns in Latin, mainly feminine, in the singular throughout all the cases. We are focusing mainly on nominative and accusative. We understand that vocative is just calling them, but we're not worried about that. So, guys, I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching. I hope you're going to come back to the next videos that I'm going to be making very soon. In the very next video, I'm going to introduce some verbs in what's called the first conjugation, and then we'll make our own full sentences using these kind of words, at words, but with the verb as well. And we build up slowly in that way. So stay tuned. Give me a like if you thought this was useful, and I look forward to coming to you again with the next video very, very soon. So I shall say walete, which means be well or goodbye. Walete. Thanks, guys. See you soon.